All right, looks like some people are starting to pop in here. Welcome. Welcome to the AI Learning Lab. What did I do with my other watch bands? Did I put them there? Where did I put them? I think they might be in my suitcase. Welcome. Winston, welcome. Keegan, how is everybody? What day's today? Monday night. Partying on a Monday. Got a nice refreshing agua. Very nice. Very nice. Hello, Winston. Hello. Shirt today, Sugar Ray Robinson by Basquiat, Basquiat. The King. There's the Bear. What's happening, Share Bear? Just getting started here tonight. There's Lori. What's happening? DDD. Oh, I got trolled good last night. I'll tell you all about it. It's pretty funny. I'm normally good at catching that shit, but I just missed it last night. What are you going to do? It was Emilio's wife that tipped me after the live. After the live. I was tipped off. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. All right. We'll get started here in a second. Feel free to... so beautiful. Cute. I'm hot. It's hot. It was 100 degrees here in Denver today. It's this climate change thing. I think climate has changed. It's not changing. I think we're in the new era. Crazy hot. Crazy. Well, thank you for the teddy bear. The gummy. All right. So we'll get started here. Looks like we got some folks tumbling in now. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. I like talking about generative AI stuff. We have a lot of fun in here. We have some regulars that hang out here. We call them the irregulars because, that's how we roll. Things are a little left to center here at the AI Learning Lab. And that's the way we like it. And a little bit about my background. I'm an entrepreneur and I'm the co-founder and CEO of a company called Storyvine. And I'm super into this generative AI stuff for my business and for personal. And it reminds me a lot of the early days of the World Wide Web. I was an entrepreneur back then. I was co-founder of a company called agency.com, which was one of the first digital agencies. Ended up selling that to Omnicom in 2002, but that was insane times and a really remarkable, it was a remarkable time to be at the beginning of something that became, that changed so much. And I think this is the same stuff, this generative AI stuff. So let me walk you through what's going on here with this. I'm going to come back to that. We're going to start with Scammy McScammington. So, if you follow me, be sure to check my account because Tobias just told me, hey Tobias, that both he and his wife thought they were following me and the front page of the scam site looks just like mine, has my videos on it, and not until you dig into, I guess, their profile do you see that it actually, theirs has 2 L's. So aiLL Learning Lab. There's scammers that stole my content. So feel free to report them. TikTok doesn't seem to give a shit right now, but whatever. But just they're trying to sell multi-level marketing stuff, and that's not me, and I won't do that. If I'm going to sell multi-level marketing stuff, I'll be honest and call it a pyramid scheme, and we'll do it right. We'll all be in the upline. The irregulars will be in the upline. The downline is going down, but these guys are just pain in the ass. Okay, so if you are new to this ChatGPT stuff, if you haven't played with it, go there, chat.openai.com. That's the official website. Claude and Bing are also worth playing with, but you can just start with that top one. And then if you don't know at all what you're doing, go to prompts.chat. That'll teach you how these things work, what they really are, what a large language model is, how you prompt them. It'll give you lots of ideas about ways that you can make these things act to kind of be little special assistants for you. Pretty interesting stuff. If you want to play kind of with some other models, just experiment. These are 4 others that I think are worth playing with. Bard, it's actually 5. You get kind of a bonus here. Bard is Google's entry. Perplexity is a good site for research. It does good citations. Labs.perplexity gives you access to Meta's Llama 2 models for free if you just want to play around with them and see what they're like. And then Pi, we've nicknamed Chatty GPT. Pi.ai or the Pi app is super conversational to the point that it's annoying if you want to get shit done, but it's really fun if you want to just talk to something. And then Poe lets you play with multiple models, has a bot maker, and is worth your time. So that's that stuff. Final little bit here that I like to go over, and I update these things occasionally as I learn about new stuff. I don't know that these are state of the art. These are things that I think are worth spending your time on. So these are the image generation tools: Midjourney, Adobe Firefly, Leonardo, and ClipDrop. So Midjourney's by far the best in terms of quality. Stable Diffusion's getting close. The bottom 2 are flavors of Stable Diffusion. And then Adobe Firefly is commercially, it's going to be safer commercially because it's not trained on any copywritten imagery. So that's pretty interesting. And generative fill within the Photoshop beta is really good. Leonardo is a web front end to Stable Diffusion. It's quite good. ClipDrop is from Stability AI, the company behind Stable Diffusion. And then Prompt Book, the openart.ai/prompt book, that'll teach you how to talk to these image generation tools. It's designed for Stable Diffusion, but it's really good for all of them. And then Futurepedia, big pile of AI tools, like 4,000 tools that you can go play with. All right, so that's that. If you have questions, pop them in the comments. I do my best to answer them every night. We have fun. We like to party. We hang out. We I don't know. We just ramble on about generative AI. But if you have questions about it, pop it below. If I can't answer it, I try to be honest about that. I think that's about it. So welcome everybody. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. Okay, let's go back and see what people are saying. Oh, da-da-da-da. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. You are hot. Very, very cute. Thank you, Woodsy. Hey, Kyle. Hey, y'all. Hey, Dr. J. What's shaking? I'm back from bashing him again. Who? The scammer? Friggin' scammer. I mean, like, if I had, like, millions of followers, I get it. Like, I mean, I have a pretty good following, but is it really worth it? I guess if one person signs up, I guess it's worth it. For their stupid little scheme. But it sucks. I don't like it. Can we talk about how that guy pranked you yesterday? Yeah, so listen. I fancy myself a clever fella. And, things like, could you page Mike Hunt? And, things like that. And, sweaty balls. I normally catch that shit. But yesterday, young Dixon Mayaz had a birthday, and so I think I talked for 15 minutes to old Dixon, or young Dixon, And it wasn't until after that Emilio's wife said, "Hey, why don't you try repronouncing that name as if it were 4 words? Dixon my ass. Dixon my ass." Oh, ah. So, there you go. There you go. The old man was had. The trolls were victorious. The trolls were out last night. They weren't very clever, but old Dixon my ass got there, huh? So yes, we can talk about it. Script 6. Oh, gotta look close. It's lowercase and hard to see the 2 L's. I know, it's a drag. Hey man, there's a personator, yep, of you with double L's in the name. I know, it sucks. Please report. Please report them at your convenience. I have. I finally found a thing where I could write a note to TikTok, and I said, "Hey, TikTok, this account's, scamming me." And hey, hair growth geek, it was good chatting with you earlier. And I said, "This is happening. Can you please deal with this?" And they sent me back a thing and said, "Okay, here's the instructions. You go to their account and you click in the upper right-hand corner, and then you say report, and then you say they were impersonating me." And then I responded, "Yeah, I've done that 6 times and you've ignored me." And they haven't responded. It's like, come on. Come on. All right. I sent you a private message about it. Thank you, Sandra. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. We had a banger night last night. We had 42,000 likes. And someone gave the what is it called? The seal and the whale jumping thing. It was fucking amazing, but good Lord. Mighty generous, thank you. All right, let's see. If you have questions, pop them in the comments below. Will NVIDIA earnings be dependent on AI? Well, NVIDIA seems to kind of have the market cornered right now on AI. So, NVIDIA's played a really interesting game, right? They kind of leaned into the gamer market, and then the gamer market sort of bled into the NFT and crypto market. And then as that faded out, it bled into the AI market, and they just pounced on that. And it sounds like the infrastructure for a competitor to be able to get into the scene right now is really hard. AMD's trying. But I heard this on a podcast I listened to on Saturday where it's not just the chip, it's not just the GPU itself, it's all the control chips and the assembly of the final board. There's all sorts of bottlenecks in the supply chain still hanging on from COVID. And so it's really hard to get these things, not only manufactured at a chip level, but assembled into the final boards that you put into the machines. And NVIDIA seems to have that. Like, I suppose if generative AI just all of a sudden, if all of the projects and companies that just raised, billions of dollars each, if they all just kind of run out of money and decide, yeah, we're not going to do AI anymore, then I think NVIDIA would probably have to make a pretty big adjustment. I don't see that happening. I just don't see it happening. Right? Not for the foreseeable future. I don't see a bottom falling out of AI like the bottom fell out of blockchain and NFTs. Because the blockchain and NFT stuff, it was too many crypto bro projects that were just house of cards. And AI isn't that. This is more substantive stuff. So I don't know. NVIDIA is an really interesting company. That whole category is really interesting. Came in late, said, no, we're just getting started. I just started, what time is it? 8:17? Started at like 8:10. Like 7 minutes in, something like that. WESN Radio. What else can they add to ChatGPT to make the $20 worth it? Hey, WESN Radio, tell me what kind of music you have, because when I say your name, I want to be able to say the kind of music. Why? Because I think it would be funny. Instead of like WESN, Smooth Jazz 88. What else could ChatGPT add to make it worth the $20? Well, so there's a couple of things going on. OpenAI just bought their first company. So people were in here this week going, ChatGPT's going out of business. They're going bankrupt. It was some article. It was some speculative article that basically, did the math and said OpenAI is spending $700,000 a day, which is probably true. And they said at this rate, they're going to be bankrupt by the end of 2024, which is probably not true because there's going to be other people no one's going to let them go out of business. So they acquired a company this week, like a world building. It's like an 8-person 3D world building kind of game company. So what's that sound like? Well, it sounds like ChatGPT is going to start being multimodal and really interesting. Thank you for the music notes. I appreciate that. So let's see. So what could ChatGPT do to make it more interesting? Well, they could get it back up to 32,000 tokens. So GPT-4 natively has 32,000 token context window. Right now, the ChatGPT site still only has, I think, 4,000. I think the API has 8,000 or 16,000, depending on the model you use. So they could bump that to 32,000 tokens. They could bring back browse with Bing, so it's connected to the internet again. Although with Web Pilot plugin, it's pretty much is. They could give early access. They could make GPT-4, the current version, multimodal, have it so that you can upload images as well. They could improve Code Interpreter. So Code Interpreter right now, it runs on a fairly small virtual machine instance, and it can get choked out on memory if your file's too big. And it's also only running Python, and it's not connected to the internet. So I could see there being a much more sophisticated Code Interpreter, and maybe they could hire a branding person and don't call it Code Interpreter, but call it like Magic Secret Computer in the Cloud, or whatever is something that doesn't make it sound so flippin' geeky. And just give us access to the latest things. So I think they're training GPT-5 right now, or they were about to, and then they stopped. Oh, that was the other thing that I was going to say. So OpenAI, so they acquired a gaming company today. So that's interesting. They cut a deal with Shutterstock. They cut a deal with the Associated Press. Google is now starting to cut deals with big media companies. So I think there's going to be a war. I think we're entering a war where it's not just about these large language models, giving you whatever you want, but it's like giving whatever you want, also tied to particular media properties, right? So if I want to do research for an article, and OpenAI had a version of, maybe they had a pull-down menu for ChatGPT that you could just say, I want you to search, I want citations from the Associated Press. So I feel like there's a fair amount of stuff that they could just turn on right now. Well, that they can't turn on right now because they got to actually build something, but they're starting to cut those deals. So I think that we're going to start to see co-branded media partnerships where we're going to get news in a different way. We're going to be able to search historical news in a different way. So yeah, so I don't know, but I agree. The $20 is I still pay for it. I still think it's worth it, but I think you're in the right place to be asking, wait, what am I getting for my $20, ChatGPT? Because I got Claude for free. And that's got 100,000 token context window, and it's kind of GPT 3.5 good. Now, they rate limit you. If you upload a bunch of large files, once you get to about 15 or 20, they knock you down for 24 hours, so that's a pain in the ass there, but it is free. Bing's connected to the internet. Bing can generate images, can read images. Where's that shit? I mean, quite frankly, OpenAI invented DALL-E, the image generation thing. Why is that not more seamlessly integrated into ChatGPT. So there's lots they could do, and they should, and they probably will. I think they're busy. They're busy trying to catch up with what the fuck they've unleashed. By the way, if you're new here, I totally got trolled last night from a fine young man named Dixon. Bag of Dixon. I'm trying to find my place in the questions if you're wondering what the hell I'm doing. All right, lots of hellos. I love that the irregulars all say hello to one another. That's super cool. I like that we're building a little community here. Little community. We had 42,000 likes last night. That was insanity. You guys are crazy. That was pretty fun. Gamifying the channel. Sander reported the scammer account. Thank you. Have you ever thought about streaming on Twitch? Well, if I had any skills, I haven't, just because I haven't been in the in that world. I don't know. Tell me what you think the advantages would be, Sander. I don't know that world well enough. I mean, I might. Troy Decker, evening AI boy. You guys watching AI boy tonight? I feel it's funny. I think some of the other TikTokers, some of the AI, the other AI TikTokers, they all kind of have their niches. Where McKinsey from GPT Boss is somewhere between political and technical. Rachel Woods with the AI Exchange is super business oriented, super buttoned up, and AI Learning Lab has just devolved into me acting like an idiot every night. It's like AI. We're gonna act like dum-dums and talk about AI. Yeah. Oh, thank you very much for that, Karuno. I love that one. Chris, hey, I saw that Midjourney added 2 new features. Really? Let's go look. Let's go to the videotape. I don't see anything there. Let me go. Darny. Announcements. Hey everyone, we're starting office hours. One small last quality of life thing. --W now triggers weird. Testing a new feature today called Pan. That I've seen before. What are the new features, Tobias? Wait, is it Tobias? What are the 2 new features? Weird? Oh, wait. Testing turbo mode. 4 times faster, 2 times the price. New mega membership plan for $120 a month. Experimental weird command. But this was a while ago. These are old. Oh, I wasn't looking at the latest stuff, was I? We're testing a new feature called Vary. It's not what's it do? It will appear underneath upscales, and if you click it, an editor will appear and lets you re-roll a specific area of the image. Oh, that's interesting. Let's go play with that. Let's go see. Let's go make us something. So I'm in the AI Salon's Discord right now. All right, so let's grab. Oh, I was trying to come up with T-shirt images for "You can make money with ChatGPT." so these were all my experiments. That one didn't quite go to plan, but it's pretty funny. Oh, good Lord. So that one in the upper right, that sort of looks like me. That sort of looks like someone could be saying, "You can make money with ChatGPT." Oh, all right. Let's go find an image. I guess we could make one. I don't feel like making one. Here, we'll grab this knolling thing. Oh yeah, there's very, very strong, very stable. So it's doing a remix of that image. I wonder what it's going to do with it. Let's see what it does. I don't think these are particularly new features, Tobias. What have I missed? Did I miss something today? It's like you do work for a day and you miss. Oh, that's looking rather. Oh, it's a brain. It was not looking very brain-like for a moment there. It's like, what do we got here? These are kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know what Very did. It just varied it a bit. I guess it maintained the composition. Interesting. Whatever happened to the 6-month pause that Elon and those guys wanted? Well, chorizo, interesting. My immediate thought when Elon said we should put a 6-month pause on everything. I mean, this is the guy that's like, fuck it, let's launch a rocket. Fuck it, I'll go buy Twitter. This is the guy asking for common reason. I'm like, something doesn't feel right there. And then a week later, a week after he declared it would be wise for companies to have a 6-month pause in AI development, he took a shipment of 10,000 GPUs, and a week after that, he announced he was going to start an AI company. And then 2 months later, he launched X.AI, which is, a direct competitor to OpenAI. So I think the good thing that announcement did was it raised awareness that safety and alignment is an issue with these things. Claude .ai, that's from a company called Anthropic. They are, thank you for the hearty hearts. They are setting out to make, AI alignment the core of their mission. They've got this thing called the constitutional learning model, which I think is really interesting. So I think AI safety has been something, shortly after that, Jeffrey Hinton quit Google and said, I don't want to work for a company where I can't just say what I think is going on. He said, it's nothing about Google, but I want to be able to talk about AI safety. So I think, I think it raised awareness. I think it did serve a purpose, but I think on its surface, it was pretty cynical, at least from Elon Musk's point of view. I know a lot of other people signed it, but for Musk in particular, who was kind of touting it, I'm like, really? And then a week later, he's like, yeah, I'm doing an AI company. I'm like, oh, okay, so you wanted a 6-month pause on the competitors so you could catch up. Got it. Okay, just fucking say that. You say everything else you think. Like, I feel like that one was just, like, why veil that motive? But whatever. I don't really care. I don't have $1 billion, so I can't give, Elon any advice on what he should do with his money. But the man's a fucking machine. What city are you in? I'm in Denver, Colorado. Rocky Mountain High in Colorado. This is incredibly anti-Semitic. What is? Hip hop and rock. Oh, hip hop and rock and talk. WESN. All right. I'll come up with something. What's your call numbers? Is there an AI that can come up with company names and logos? Well, ChatGPT can do company names like nobody's business. So start out and tell it that you want it to act like a like a branding expert, and then have it interrogate you about what your company's about, and have it give you 20 names or 30, and then tell it, okay, I like 1, 7, and 14, and then give me 30 more that are like that, and then have it explain why. Have it rank its own names. Have it analyze its own names and rank them based on what you told them your business is about, and explain why it ranked them the way it did. You can get some really interesting product names very, very quickly doing that kind of stuff. Is there an AI I can come up with company names and logos? And then logos, you can go play with Midjourney and Adobe Firefly if you've got access to to Photoshop Creative Cloud. Firefly could be good. What have you coded? What have I coded in terms of AI stuff? I'm not an engineer. I've incorporated OpenAI's Whisper into my software platform, into Storyvine. We do interactive transcriptions using Whisper. I've built a bunch of content generators, not really with code, using Zapier, using automations. I've got my development team right now spinning up a visual interface for LangChain so we can start experimenting with LangChain. I've got 2 or 3 different pharma clients right now looking at doing pilot projects where we go build some AI stuff for them. So a little bit, dicked around here and there. And what would be wrong with geeky? Ain't nothing wrong with geeky. Geeky's the best. I like geeky. Geeky's good. I like geeky. It's so good. How does that answer my question? Which AI would you recommend come up with names and logos? I think I just directly answered your question. I would go to ChatGPT-4 at chat.openai.com. I'd pay for number 4. Or if you can't pay for it, go to Bing, which is GPT-4 as well. And then I would use Midjourney for the logos. If you want a specialized tool just to do names and logos, then I would go to futurepedia.io. If it needs to be AI, but just to do names and logos, there's all sorts of sites that do names and logos. So, I wouldn't. It doesn't matter that you have AI do it or some other tool do it. What matters is, what are you trying to accomplish? So, you got to have, what you can do with these things. You can have these things act like a branding expert and have them guide you how to give it enough information to be able to make good names. All right. Let's say. All right. Looks like my mic is open. Wait, looks like my mic is open. He's not a game. I am a game. Sorry, just, what's his name? Just dumped me to the bottom again. TikTok just dumped me to the bottom. Howdy, partner. What's happening? Okay. So how can you do a search and get all news, not curated companies? How can you do a search and get all news, not curated companies? I'm not quite sure what you mean, WESN. Do a search and get all news, not curated companies. I would play with Bard and Bing, the ones that are connected to the internet. That could even be something that you could experiment with Pi. Although Pi is so chatty, that might be really annoying. I don't quite know what you mean. All new, like, you want all news based on what? Mike Rose still likes Bing. I like Bing, but it was Hair Growth Geek on her. She was doing a live earlier, and she said she went into Bing, and Bing was like not getting it, and she was trying to get Bing to do it, and at some point Bing just was like, nah, We're not going to have this conversation anymore. It's just shut her down. I've had it do that to me too. I kind of gave it a snarky response at some point, and it was just like, nah, we're not going to do this. So, very strange. Let's see. He's not a game. Ba-da-da-da. You're a funny guy. He's a funny guy. Enough comedy jokes. Kyle, are you going to Burning Man? It looks like they closed down Burning Man. The Playa was a lake. And apparently, if it rains on La Playa, they close it down to traffic, and then apparently, the road going to Burning Man turns into a giant skinny party, like a long skinny party. I have not been to Burning Man. I'm not going. It looks cool, but I'm a little long in the tooth. The guy we bought our house from used to be like a Catholic priest, and now he goes to Burning Man all the time. He's a trip, but no, I haven't been. I love the photographs from it though. Cool pic of you. I think screensaver. What? Cool pic of you, screensaver. I don't know what you mean. You make it difficult for AI to reproduce you. Yeah, like because I'm so random. Yeah, oh, by the way, so we were talking to Bob last night, Robert, who's like, I've been here 5 times and you've never answered my question. And I finally answered his question about synthesizing his voice, and I recommended he play with iOS 17. So I played with iOS 17. It's really weird how you use it. Like, it's not intuitive at all. It's very non-Apple. It's very much a specialized accessibility tool. But the way it works, you go into accessibility. It's in iOS 17 beta. It's only in beta right now. You go into speech and then personal voice, and then you say set up a personal voice, and you can set up as many as you want. But then you answer 150 questions. You repeat 150 phrases. So it's like a long process, like 20 minutes. For someone with ADD, it was like torture after 30, and I just was like, fuck. And I just kept going and going and going. So I finally got it done. And then it takes like 3 or 4 days to process, and it's kind of opaque and weird. It's not super quick. And then so I went and checked on it yesterday. And it looked like it had worked, but I couldn't get it to work. And when I tried, I didn't know how to use it. And then, so how you use it is you triple click the lock button, and it brings up a thing, and you can put in some pre-written phrases, which is kind of cool. So I put in, you can make money with ChatGPT. I put in that, and then you can type in stuff, and then it'll talk it in your voice. It's not as good as 11 Labs. Like, I was really disappointed. After all of that fucking input, it was like crunchy and super monotone. And like when I first heard it, I'm like, is that even my voice that it synthesized? And then the more I listened to it, I'm like, oh yeah, it is. And then I took the same phrase and I did it in, the iOS personal voice thing. And I popped over to 11 Labs for my synth version over there. And that only took, I recorded one paragraph, uploaded it to 11 Labs, and a minute later, it's created your synthesized voice, and it's pretty good. So 11 Labs was better, pretty significantly. But the thing about the Apple stuff is it's built into the operating system. So as an accessibility feature, no matter what app you're in, or if you're on a call with someone, a FaceTime call, and you can't talk, you can just type in and it will speak in your voice. So for what it is, it's good. But I was actually I was surprised and disappointed that the level of execution on that was as poor as it was. Because for something sounding that shitty, they don't need 150 phrases. Now, maybe it'll get better over time. Maybe just because it's in beta preview, they don't really give a shit. And they're doing it on suboptimal something or other. But oh, in painting? Wait, Midjourney did in painting? Retropunk, really? Why did I not see this? Maybe I'll go over to the Twitter. Let's go over to the X. X.com. I heard they were going to do in painting, but I didn't see it. Is it trending? The Bachelorette and Bubba Wallace are trending. Bubba Wallace, he was serving burgers at a local McDonald's. He's sponsored by McDonald's. That was pretty funny. Mid-journey in a painting. In painting. Finally, Midjourney releases in painting. Wait, how do you do it? We've been waiting for this for ages. Important. Don't forget to enable remix option. Oh. So wait, how does it work? Wow. All right, so let's go generate something. All right, so we're going to go /imagine. So if you haven't seen Midjourney before, this is how you do it. So we're in Discord. You type /imagine and then you say, let's see, flash flood blasting through Burning Man Festival. Did that cost a substantiated fee when you did the WorldCoin Iris thing in New York? No, it was free. It was free. And in fact, had I not been an American with an SEC, I would have gotten free cryptocurrency. So I would have made money by getting my world ID had I not been an American. All right, this is a flash flood blasting through Burning Man. Yeah, it's cool. It actually did some Burning Man kind of stuff. And it kind of looks muddy like it would be. Those are kind of cool. All right, are they done? Yeah. All right, so let's pick the top one here. We'll do upscale 1. Vary region. Okay. Okay, so when you upscale an image, you click the Vary Region button, and then it says select the area to be changed. And so I'm going to select this area down here. When you're ready, edit the prompt to describe the new image. So I'm going to say red tricycle, or rad tricycle, red tricycle with donut wheels. All right. This is kind of cool. Look, we're learning. It's the learning lab, and we're actually learning. We're learning in real time. Nothing I like doing better than absolutely having no idea what I'm doing in front of lots of people. Yay! You did it. Yay. Would you give a shout out to Dixon Myaz? Sure. All right. There's sort of tricycles. That one doesn't have anything. That one's got not quite a tricycle. But this bottom one, let's do some variations of that bottom one. So we'll do variations of 3. How do I join the Discord? Okay, I'll tell you. There's two things I'm doing right now. I'm playing within the AI Salon Discord. this is interesting. So when I said I wanted variations of it, it only kept my in painting prompt. It didn't keep the larger prompt. But I actually like where it's going better. I think it's actually kind of cool. Yeah, like let's upscale number 4. That's pretty slick. It's got kind of a Burning Man vibe to it, doesn't it? That's kind of cool. The donut hut and the big cruiser bike. Okay, so I'm in the AI salon. So a couple of things. If you want to join a community that's trying to figure all this AI shit out, go to thesalon.ai, and that's a group I started back in December, I think. And we have a Discord server, so there's a link tree there. And you just go to that link tree and you can join the meetup. We meet every other week in person here in Denver and then online. And then we have a Discord server where you can kind of geek out and you can use Midjourney. So that's where I've been doing my images. And then if you want to join the Midjourney Discord, you go to midjourney.com. Midjourney.com. Oh, and I'll show you guys something that you may not know that I just kind of rediscovered. All right, so this is Midjourney. So it's a website. Great. Down here in the corner, they haven't worked a lot on their user interface or experience. This little button called Join the Beta. If you click Join the Beta, that'll take you to their Discord server, and you can sign up. If you're not signed up for Discord, you can sign up there, but you can sign up for their server there. But what you can also do here is, if you've already got a Midjourney account, you can sign into the website. And rather than having to go look for all your images in Discord, you can see them on the website. Hang on, I have to hop over to an authenticator. Can you all see me? Hear me? We good? Hopefully so. So there's the 2 images that I just created. So any image that you upscale automatically get dumped into your website. So this is like the whole history of everything I've ever done in Midjourney, which is kind of slick because when you're in Midjourney, when you're in Discord, like a lot of times, especially if you're in the Discord channel, one of the reasons I like doing Midjourney within the AI salon is that there's not a lot of traffic there. So you don't have people like competing for the bottom of the Discord chat. But what's nice about this is I can just go look at, my entire history of, look at that cool chair. That thing's super cool. It was a Star Wars themed, like furniture thing. I think I did that on one of the lives here. I did Yoda when I was doing the bots for Poe. I did a Yoda bot. So anyway, super cool to be able to just go back and see the stuff you've done. Groovy, right? Steve-O, sup dude? Hey everyone. Made a new avatar on Midjourney yesterday. 1 to 10. What do you mean 1 to 10? I don't know what 1 to 10 means. That's cool. Oh, I can't see your avatar in here. It's like this. It's teeny. It's teeny. No,
I'm listening.
No. What? No, Siri. No. Go away. No. I don't like Siri. In-painting only works with the Discord app, not in the browser. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, the browser, you can't generate anything in the browser. I think you can just view it, right? Yeah. Apparently they're working on a web interface to be able to generate stuff. It's just not here. Search prompts or job IDs. Sorry I missed you in New York City. Oh, dear Joy, what's happening? What's happening, Ace? How are you? I would have talked to you out of your WorldCoin data thing. Never. Never. I dug in. I got it. Here, look. Look, I'll show you. It's cool. I don't care. It's just data. I've given up my data so many decades ago. I just assume it's all done. So what Ace is talking about is I went to New York City and I got this WorldCoin World ID. So this is Sam Altman's new company, and you actually scan your iris. They grab your biometric data and they compare you against their database of other humans, and they measure your uniqueness versus the other humans. Basically, if you've done this before, if you've gotten a World ID before, you can't get two. So it makes it singular and makes sure that it's unique. And then you get this card, and if you flip it over, it's the you've got basically your wallet address. So it's an NFT, and then in theory, this will be a whole infrastructure that applications will be built on top of, and you'll be able to use this as access basically and verification that you are who you say you are without having to give up your name, right? So it's humanness verification. It verifies that I am human, but it doesn't really give a shit who I am. When you create a new image in Midjourney, there is now a region button. Lets you change the area within it. So is that thing that I just did? It wasn't called region. It was called very. Oh, maybe it did say very region. Yeah, it does. Region. Yep, the region button. Yeah, that's super cool. Super cool. I'm going to add a pterodactyl in the sky. Pterodactyl. Spelled very wrong. Flying. Alright, let's see if it does that. Aye, Dr. J, still able to talk Dutch? Dr. J responds, just a little bit. Well, no, he responded, Aline in Biji. Just a little bit. That's very cute. I was 63 on the 1st of the month. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. What am I now? I'm 58, I think. I don't fucking know. You get once you get to these ages, like unless it's one of the decades, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter anyway. I don't think that I'm old at 59, just old compared with people I collaborate with. Yeah, I'm the same way, Winston. I mean, it's, I really do feel like this generative AI stuff is going to be revenge of the Gen Xers, where having some decades on this planet is going to serve you well, because you're going to be able to look at the output of this generative AI stuff and be able to really quickly curate it. And refine it, and just from having been on the planet, so I think it's going to be an advantage. All right. Let me pop this back up here. Wait, not that. All right, so if you're new here, if you haven't played with ChatGPT, why I have these URLs up on screen. Chat.openai.com is the official ChatGPT website. If you've not played with that, go play with that. Go right now and do that. And then prompts.chat will teach you how to do that. It'll teach you what these things are. Claude and Bing are both kind of, competitors or co-opetition kind of partners to ChatGPT. All three of those have something interesting to offer. So just go play there while I'm chatting. Kyle, you're prophetic. Just as you were doing the Burning Man flood, downpour in Phoenix. Well, we're connected here. we got connections. You know what I mean? Hey, sometimes you call in a little favor. They drop a few buckets of water, everyone's happy. You got to keep it going. The AI Salon Discord. Yeah, go to the salon.ai and the link to the Discord is in there. But I guess it's not being the oldest. Oh. Oh, is it a competition? Everything's a competition. Everything's a competition. 10,000K likes. Good start. Wow, we're up to 16,000 likes. You guys are insane. Thank you. Restart the Discord app. Oh, why? To give you... Wait. I think I saw this stuff. I think that was old, but I'll restart it anyway. Discord. It's got to be disconcerting if you don't hang out with me a lot. I know that I respond to comments from a conversation I was having 15 minutes earlier, and then someone commented on it down below, and I just respond to it as though everyone's paying attention to what I'm saying. So I will acknowledge that's probably pretty annoying. But what are you going to do? Wait, there's some news items. Retropunk, In Painting is here. Okay, here we go. Got it. In Painting Midjourney. Hey, irregular fam. Hey, all. Hey, aiLLers. You irregulars. That's awesome. It didn't put a pterodactyl in the sky because I spelled it wrong. All right, look at all those likes. You guys are cuckoo. You're just cuckoo. Is this getting cool? Wait, is it getting cooler in the Mile High City? I remember the temp dips in the 50s, 40s in Estes Park at night. Clint, no. It's there's 100 degrees today. I mean, I've been here now for 14 years. I can't believe I've been here 14 years. That's just fucking insane. But the summer, you would have a 2 to 3 week stretch where it might get in the 90s, but we've had months. First of all, the beginning of the year it rained like we were in Florida, and then it just stopped. Yeah, it's still a little warm out. It's still 80 degrees out. Wait, let me see what ye old watch says. Yeah, 87 degrees at what time is it? 9 o'clock at night. So it's very not Denver like right now. You got it now. Okay, cool, good. No Burning Man. I'm taking my prepaid rent, an RV, and I'm going to be on your doorstep in Colorado. There you go. Road trip. Irregular road trip. I like everyone that I have chatted with in here. Don't really care about their age. Yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, that is one of the nice things about on the internet. No one knows you're a dog. Is that if you've got the right kind of community where you can just you've got a clear reason to be there, it doesn't really fucking matter what age you are. And that's the whole point of the AI Salon is the only real prerequisite there is be curious about generative AI and contribute. If you go to the salon.ai, if you go to this address right here, the first link there is what the AI Salon's all about. It's kind of a mission statement. It's a thing that I wrote that's got our values in it. And the values are things like, generosity and curiosity and empathy and, so yeah, that's the whole point. If you can do the community right, where, I don't know, there's a sense of humanity and empathy, and curiosity, then I think we're going to be able to help each other. It's like this. I don't know. I just feel like the changes that are coming are going to be brutal enough. So why don't we create a little space where we can not be assholes to each other, feel free to be ignorant and new and just starting, right? I don't want this to ever feel like if someone comes in oh, they're way beyond where I am. We're all trying to figure this shit out. And even if you think you have this shit figured out 3 months from now, all these tools are going to be different. So it's honest to God, what did I didn't pay attention for 8 hours today, and Midjourney's In Painting came out. It's like, you know. So yeah, that's the whole idea here. So I think that's super cool. Just got here. No, that was it was not a BLM riot. Although, thank you for trying to inject politics into the conversation. It was Burning Man, which you could probably easily demonize the people that go to Burning Man too, but please don't. I don't like that in here at all. If it's about AI, cool. Closest I'll get is, what's the government doing to regulate this shit? And that's even a slippery slope. Yeah, let's go! Lori, thank you so much for the cheers. But I guess it's nice not being the oldest. Good evening, everybody. What's the current waiting time? Well, I'm 24 messages behind. I don't think there's been a ton of messages, so I don't think we're that far behind Cocklol. That's like Dixon my ass. That's a funny name. It's 22:51. You are back at 10:51 Eastern. Okay, I agree. Sander, Australia. Nancy, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the best group. Thank you, Share Bear. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm digging this group. I feel like there's a whole thing happening that's neat. I like it. I dig it. I dig it. My hair's kind of cooperating tonight. I need a haircut, don't I? It's time. It's time. Oh boy, that looks like some sort of. Doesn't that look like 80s carpet salesman? There you go. Thank you. Much better. On one of your videos on TikTok about agencies, you say, watch this video. And I don't see a link in... Where I talk about agencies. And you say, watch this video. Oh. Okay. There is a link in there. It's a duet. So, and I might have done it wrong. I think it was one of my first duets. So the first 5 seconds of that video is someone talking about... I think they were talking about a small agency that did some work really quick or something like that. And then I said, this is a big thing. And I said, go watch that video. So in the description of that video, there's a hyperlink to the other video. So it's in there. It's just TikTok's interface is, we can't say bad things because they're listening, but they don't really listen, or they would get rid of the scam account that's stolen all of my content. Right, TikTok? So we don't really listen. We just selectively listen. So that if I say one of the words that's on your trigger list, you shut me down for 7 days. But if someone actually steals my content, that's good. Not an issue there. Don't see an issue there. The content looks awesome. Well, thank you. That's a compliment. I do appreciate that. Algorithmic governance is a thing that, yeah. Because, I could see there being a trajectory, and this is fucking terrifying. This is one of the ways it goes south. I could see there being a trajectory where our politicians get, continue down their path of corruptness and deception and cynicism, and the country gets frustrated enough that someone from San Francisco will come up with an AI generated self-governance platform, and over a decade we'll just sort of give up the political system for an AI generated system where it's just AI governance. and we just vote that way, and everyone's happy, happy, happy. And then it'll be shit like what happens on TikTok, where I say one word, I get booted for 7 days, someone steals my fucking account, and they're fine for weeks, and they can scam, you know, all of my community members. That's fine, right? I could see that as a trajectory. But let's not do that. Let's do some actual sorry. Yeah. All right. I can't. I just can't. Love the Dutch. That was really good. Kyle, we'll work on your accent. Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we need to work on many things of mine when it comes to foreign languages. I'm horrible at it. Here's my problem. Here's what fucked me up with foreign languages. There were two things. One was I just didn't care, right? Like you actually have to have a passion for it to be good at it. But the second was, in my high school, we had a language teacher. She taught French, Latin, and Spanish. We called her Spitter Ritter. Whenever she talked, the spittle from her mouth would sort of gather in the corners of her mouth and turn into these white globs. And then as she was talking, they would migrate to the center of her lips. And when she would say a P, they would shoot into the audience or into the classroom. So anyway, old Miss Ritter, she thought that vocabulary was more important than grammar. And so every week we would have a 20-word vocabulary test that counted for like 65% of the grade or 70% of the grade. It was ridiculous. And so all my buddies and I, we got really good at writing the 20 words like really small on pieces of paper on our palms. And so we always got 100 on the vocabulary tests, and then we would fail all of the actual knowledge tests. So I took Latin, Spanish, and French, and I did that in all three of those, and I didn't learn a fucking thing. So there you go. Smarter, too smart for my own good, literally. I gamed the system, and I won, and that's why I'm a clueless American. I only speak English words. Any idea when WorldCoin is coming to Canada? No idea, Laura. It's only in 3 cities here in the States, which is weird. I think they're just... If you go to the WorldCoin site, I think it's worldcoin.org, or is it... hang on, let me see what it is. Yeah, worldcoin.org. So if you go to worldcoin.org... how many are there now? Yeah, so not a lot of people are doing this. There were 2,200,000 and something when I was in New York, and there's just 2,249,000 right now. It looks like it's going up about 1 per second. But if you go look at like World ID and World App, a lot of this is for developers. A lot of this is, an SDK and a passport and. It looks like WorldCoin is not even live on the site right now. So it's all very, very new. I would assume that probably starting, January 2024, they'll probably start to roll it out a bit more. But I don't know. I just pay attention to the site occasionally. No idea. No idea, unfortunately. No. Wow, we're up to 24,000 likes already? You guys are just weird. Well, you're a regular, so I suppose you're living up to the brand. You are back at 10:51. Oh, wait, I'm down too far. All right. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. D-D-D. I've learned a couple of good sentences to an American buddy of mine. Digital experiences most definitely an advantage with the advent of AI. Absolutely. Winston just sent you a galaxy. Thank you for the hearty hearts. That's pretty cool. It's just like this warm and fuzzy sort of little parade of hearts over here. It's very fun. Silver Fox, New Hampshire. Laura's in British Columbia. It's earlier there. Kyle, you happy with the shirt tonight, or are we doing switcheroo shortly? No, I'm happy with it because I can read the comments up in this section. It's hard if I put it over the letters, but it's Sugar Ray Robinson, Basquiat. I like it. Sorry, I'm going insane over Midjourney in painting. Yeah, I mean, listen, Midjourney is just amazing. They've got it. They've got to get a real interface. They have to. Like, we can't. They got to get it off Discord. They've got to get Midjourney off Discord. This is fucking ridiculous at this point. I get that they're only an 11-person company, or like their company is staggeringly small for the quality of work and the quality of awareness within the AI community. It's quite impressive. That part's impressive. But the fucking having it on Discord, that shit's got to go like 6 months ago. Leonardo, someone needs to do, Midjourney needs to do Leonardo, like Leonardo did for Stable Diffusion. Someone needs to do that for Midjourney. Oh yeah. Thank you for the shades. I like the shades. Very 80s. I like the way you go through everyone's comments in order. It'll be real good. Thank you very much. Most people fucking hate it because they're like, why didn't he answer my question? He didn't answer my question. I don't like that he didn't answer my question. Why wouldn't he answer my question? I've asked that 37 times. I don't even think he's live. Do you think he's live? I don't think he's live. He's definitely not live. He hasn't answered any questions. What questions is he answering? He probably thinks we landed on the moon. You know the Earth's hollow, right? Yeah. All right, 136 here in Lawrence, Kansas. Yeah, the weather right now is just stupid. Your delay is cheating the AI delays analysis. All this time I've been watching your lives, I was wondering when you would break into Hawaii 5-0 riff. It's just, here's one of the problems with these lives, is that I'm getting comfortable enough now that, like, this is just kind of how I am. It's probably not good. Like, there's less and less of a filter. It's just not good. Although the hearts keep going. Apparently someone's enjoying the hearts. I think it's just the irregulars at this point are now having a game trying to get the counter to tick up to try to beat last night's score, which is hilarious. 20K, yeah, we're almost up to 30K right now, you weirdos. I got pulled over in Hawaii, and it was really a Camaro. Awesome. What are your thoughts on the New York Times possibly suing OpenAI? Yeah, I think... Didn't Google just cut a deal with the New York Times? Yeah, they did a $100 million deal. Okay, so here's what's going on. Google, because Google has kind of an infinite amount of money to play with, Google's going to start cutting media deals. And they're going to probably try to get exclusive media deals. This sort of shit started happening in like 97 and 98 with the World Wide Web, where everyone started cutting these deals and you know, like Time Inc. had this thing called Pathfinder where they were trying to consolidate all their brands into this thing, and everyone started positioning and you know, MSNBC, there was MSN and NBC, and they made MSNBC. Like you probably don't know, that started as an internet, you know, media relationship play. There were tons of these things. You know, aiLL was cutting media deals where, you know, this aiLL channel was going to be the exclusive distribution channel of this media outlet. And so we're starting to see the beginnings of that. So the fact that Google cuts $100 million deal with the New York Times, and then the New York Times says, yeah, we might sue OpenAI because they took our stuff. All of this is kind of posturing for the publishing companies to cut the biggest deals possible. They probably don't want to do exclusive deals. I don't think they should do exclusive deals. The large language model companies, it's in their best interest to cut deals with media properties so that they've got brands that they can market against, right? So ChatGPT giving you a really good story is great, but ChatGPT giving you a really good story citing news sources from the New York Times or from the Associated Press, that's even better, right? And if that can be, jointly created, and then the AP can have tools for their reporters that are powered by OpenAI, and OpenAI can have tools that remix content in all sorts of unique and interesting ways in a branded, trusted way, like everyone kind of wins. But at the same time, the publishers are like, our fucking current business model doesn't work anymore. Like, everything's breaking. The publishing industry is a fucking disaster. The music industry is a fucking disaster. The film industry is a fucking disaster, right? The writers and actors are striking to try to cut some sort of deal where their leverage is slipping away daily because they're going to be able to be replicated from these fucking machines. So it's much like the playa for Burning Man that right now is a giant fucking lake, and everything's shifting, everything's changing, and so I think it's really interesting. I think in the end, all of these lawsuits will settle into $100 million, $500 million, $1 billion deals, where we've got a 10-year deal with blah, 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 to AI empower the blah, blah, blah. We're just going to see lots and lots and lots of those. So we're kind of shifting. This is a good sign for the industry, in my opinion, because we're quickly shifting out of the tools and into how we use the tools, right? So this is going to be further accelerated when Microsoft finally releases Copilot within Office 365, and Google releases Bard within their Office products, and you're starting to get all these media companies rolled in here. It's starting to be incorporated into the fabric of stuff we touch every day anyway. So what it says to me is the, I don't know why the word coagulation came into my head, but the coagulation of this AI stuff from kind of this vaporous, like, what is this generative AI? Like, I don't know how to use it. Should I become a prompt engineer? I heard you can make $900,000. Oh, that's not in fashion anymore. Like, what do I do here? Like, it's very quickly gonna, I don't think it's going to be that long where we have to actively think about what is this generative AI stuff. It's just going to start to merge into a lot of the stuff that we play with every day. Now, I think if you get into it, you're going to potentially save your job, and there's going to be a lot of opportunity for you in the next 18 months to 3 years, just by the mere fact that you have a clue about this shit, because a lot of people are going to ignore it. There were some trolls in here last night that were, you could tell they were sitting on the sidelines and just pontificating from their little soapbox about the evil ways of the AI world without actually playing with it. I think those people are going to be blindsided, and so the irregulars are not going to be blindsided. We might not be able to figure this shit out exactly what to do with it, but I mean, the notes that I get from people that are in here participating regularly, like what I'm noticing is a lot of people are going from, I didn't know anything, now I'm playing with it. Ooh, now I did this thing. Ooh, now I'm writing grants. Now, like sort of the acceleration of the adoption within this community has been really inspiring. So, by the way, thank you for anyone who shares with me what you're learning. It actually really helps me a lot process what's happening in all of this stuff. So keep doing that. What's in painting? So in painting, So let me go show you. So we'll upscale one of these things. Jeez, I got to come up with a catchphrase for the cowboy because I get the cowboy enough. I got to have a catchphrase for the cowboy. There's a thing called, and this is language that came from Stable Diffusion. I think it's shitty language. In painting and out painting. Out painting is you're going to paint outside the image, and in painting is you're going to paint somewhere inside the image. So, Midjourney calls out painting zoom out, which I think is a much better name, right? So if I hit zoom out right here, my little dude on a bike is going to go, it's going to zoom out. So he'll be farther in the distance and we'll see more of the world around him, more of this Burning Man kind of donut world. This is more like Donut Man. Oh, I just found a bug. I just found a bug in there in this in painting out painting thing. That's really interesting. Huh. This is not going. I don't think this is going to give us what we want, and I'll tell you why in a second. This is going to be birds. Oh no, it kept the dude there. So it gave us a little pterodactyl off in the sky. All right, this isn't so bad. So out painting was we took that sort of inside image and we out painted, we painted all this stuff on the outside. So now in painting is we can pick some piece of that. So let's grab this cute third one. We'll upscale this third one here with the cute eyes. And then, so in painting now for Midjourney is this button right here. It says vary region. So vary is we're going to do a variation of this, but keep a lot of the elements the same. But the region is the in painting. So if I click that, it now gives me this interface where I can select something in the image. So let's say that let's say I want another dude on a bike next to this guy. So I'm going to select this area right here. And I'm going to say hipster on cruiser bike. And hopefully that'll give me a little buddy next to our buddy. It's going to give me a little buddy. So the in painting is literally in painting. Photoshop calls this generative fill. What's interesting about generative fill with Photoshop is you can either in paint or out paint with generative fill. Basically, if you expand your canvas and say generative fill, it'll out paint, it'll fill in the outsides. Or if you select something inside a photo and say generative fill, it will do it on the inside. And this didn't give me any bikes. No bikes. What's this one? Give me a chicken. So I haven't played around with it. But the bug that I think I found is when I did my in painting earlier for this thing, I grabbed a piece of the sky and I put pterodactyl flying. Boy, I spelled it wrong. And then when I went to zoom out on this, it didn't keep the original prompt. It only kept the pterodactyl flying prompt. So, which wasn't necessarily what I wanted. Like I wanted it to zoom out on that image and just not fill anything out on the outside. So anyway, I don't know that it's a bug. It's just probably more that I don't understand the interface. Which again goes back to this shouldn't be in fucking Discord. Shouldn't. It shouldn't. It just shouldn't. I get why it's in Discord. It's cheap. You've got built-in community. You can test features there really easy. I get why it's there, but it's time. It's time. It's been 2 years. Time. Make your fucking web interface now. I'm sure you're developing it. Let's get it going. All right. Okay. Will you give some times? Some time. Oh, Share Bear. Thank you for the little dangly lights. I appreciate that. Will you give some times, Togas, to let you know? Times for what? Flock of Senol. Oh, that's pretty funny, Lunashtick. Lunashtick's here, the moon comedian. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I like Lunashtick. 9.5 out of 10 on the name. You know what? No. I'm going 10 out of 10 on the name because it's consistent with who you are. It's really a good representation just based on our few interactions. Like, you're funny and it's good. You're like zany funny. Zany and funny. It's a good combo. So I like it. Solid name. And Flacasino. See, it's good. Solid. Clever. I tried to find that scam account I would like to report via email. Okay, the scam account is... Thank you for doing that, by the way. Yes, please. Anything you can do to help. The real one, I spell learning correctly. aiLL, earning. Scammer, aiLL, earning. So 2 L's. And because they're all, he does them in all lowercase, the I and the L and the L together, it's like it really is almost impossible to see the difference between the two when you see them all with lowercase letters, that's why I made uppercase letters here. So that's the scammer. So anyone, hey, if anyone in here's, trolls or hackers, and you want to go fuck with someone, go fuck with this guy. That's probably illegal for me to ask that, but I don't care. They're stealing my shit, and TikTok's not dealing with it. I'll probably get banned now for 7 days because I said some word in there. It happens. It's happened 3 times now. I think I know what words I'm not allowed to say. They seem to be similar trigger words to the word, actually. What did you say? I have no idea what I said. You've been warned about insulting the algorithm. I know. But maybe the algorithm could pay a little fucking attention. Like, how hard is it for the algorithm to go, if they copied videos from this account and they're the identical checksum, the identical video in that account, and it has the same name and the same description, couldn't we write an algorithm to maybe go, hey, maybe someone should go look at that? I think we could. I don't even think we'd need AI for that. I think we could use good old Boolean logic. If checksum equals yes, equals 1, therefore, flag. I don't want to deal with reality. This is horrible. Everybody hates me. All right. Was that synthesized or was that human? We just don't know, do we? You're unclonable. Thank you. Do you like RFK Jr.? I got to tell you, man, the dude's voice, like, I don't know what's going on with his voice. I haven't really researched it, but it's just hard to listen to. It just sounds painful. I just, something doesn't seem on the up and up there. I just don't trust the guy. It just doesn't feel... It doesn't feel authentic. In case this isn't clear, like, one of my big things in life is like authenticity, like authentic humans. And so politicians drive me fucking batshit crazy because it's like, I don't know how they can fucking sleep at night. Most of them. Both sides. But it's gotten so bad at this point, it's just unwatchable. So, but that one... thank you, Steve-O. That's a cute little doggy booty. Where's my doggy? My doggy's not here. I'm not sure you should keep giving the AI overlords any more ideas. I know. What are you going to do? That's it. The world's falling apart, Gen X kids. Yeah. But ever had a bologna and potato chip sandwich? Of course. And fried bologna and potato chip? Come on. Anyone ever had Taylor's pork roll? That's some Pennsylvania white trash right there. Fried Taylor's pork roll, some of the tastiest of the pork part product It's really good. It's a small world. 11-minute lag. I think I'm the lag here, not the technology. Hey, name's Kyle Shannon. I'm a lag. Nice to meet you. Go ahead and say something. I'll respond an hour later. I'd be fun at a party, huh? All right. Let's see. Consolidation is coming. I agree. Will Google pay content trainers decent salaries? I don't know what you mean by content trainers. I don't know that. I think all the content scraping. Here's where my instinct goes. I think that the value of editors goes up. And I think the value of AI literate writers goes up. But what is an AI literate writer might look more like an editor. So the whole idea of of having to do content training, all of that's just going to be automated. All that's going to be bots. Anything that's tactical execution, think of it like this, Nancy. Anything that is like the repetitive. You remember the I Love Lucy famous episode where she's at the candy conveyor belt and she's just shoving the chocolate in her face and gets all sick. Any work that's like that is going to be automated. So any job that's kind of like Lucy standing there manually pulling things off the line, manually writing articles, manually sorting, alphabetizing, like the old classic, go file these alphabetically, and the woman would get the big stack of file folders and have to go alphabetize them. Like anything that's sort of the digital equivalent of that stuff. I think that just in the next 2 years, all of that gets automated. And then what feels like it goes up in value is who's thinking critically about how we're going to use these tools, right? Who's thinking critically about, okay, if there's going to be new kinds of writing that emerge, right? There's going to be fully human writing, which is going to have value, but there's not going to be as much of it because it's expensive, right? So you'll have specialized, maybe investigative journalism, but even that's probably going to be infused with a lot of AI. And then you're going to go all the way down to like fully automated, just 100,000 articles a day being spewed out by machines. And there's going to be this continuum from, well, let's do it like this way. The low-level stuff, the stuff that's just spewed out automatically, but that's going to overwhelm the channels. And then you're going to work up to this sort of rarefied air of very, very minimal, sort of handcrafted, bespoke writing. And I'm just talking about writing right now, but you can take literally any knowledge work discipline, any creative discipline. So there's going to be a very small amount of people that still do the handcrafted shit, that they're probably the branded people, the Maggie Habermans and the Matt Taibbis and things like that they'll still do what they do. But there's going to be this whole middle ground where you're going to have sort of highly respected reporters that can increase the amount of writing that they do because they're going to use these tools. And these tools are going to get better at the hallucination thing. They're going to get better at citations. You're going to be able to research pieces a lot more quickly. You're going to have somewhere in the middle here, like local news journalism that is essentially gone, right? Because all the local stuff has been bought up by these conglomerates that have this national messaging. So local news doesn't exist anymore, but local news is still happening, right? Laws are still being passed. streets are still being renamed, like zoning permits are still being denied and things like that. All of those public records that local journalism used to report on, those public records are still there. That's something that's ripe for AI automating, and say, hey, let's bring back local journalism. And so maybe what you do is you hire an editor per local region. You let the AI machines write most of the content, but you have the editor there curating which stories to run. It's almost impossible to know like what the new organization will look like, because I feel like every single component of what they are today is going to be completely rewritten over the next 5 years. So your questions about salaries, I think that the salaries will go to the people who've got critical thinking skills and are AI literate, right? So that potentially have some sort of existing skill. So I was a beat reporter, or I was a screenwriter, or I'm an entrepreneur, whatever it might be. You've got some set of skills. Now you're AI literate on top of it, and you've got the capacity to like think strategically, because this shit's changing so fast that you're going to need people that are going to be like, okay, the current business looks like this. These new capabilities look like this. The future business, what's that look like? I don't fucking know, but I know that I know generally where we're headed, and I'm gonna learn these tools enough to at least go in a direction, and then I'll smack that into a brick wall and go, nope, that wasn't it. Now I'll try another one. Nope, that wasn't it. Here's one. Ooh, that's really interesting. Maybe that's a new business unit. So I think companies are going to need people. They're going to need, I've used the phrase revenge of the liberal arts major and revenge of the Gen Xers. I think experienced people are going to be valuable. I think horizontal thinkers, people that can think across disciplines, are going to be really valuable. And then I think anyone with a specialized, with a deep specialty, who can now have that deep specialty powered by AI, they're going to be valuable. But anyone that just sits back and goes, I'm a copywriter. It's all about just copywriting for me. And what they're really doing is writing blog posts and this and that, which is copywriting, don't get me wrong. But like that's the stuff that this stuff's just going to obliterate, right? So if those people aren't kind of aggressively upskilling into whatever these things can do, then I think that's where the pain comes in. Apocrypha, what's happening? All right. 72% of Americans want to slow down AI, and 0% of AI companies are going to slow down. So, this is my joke about Florida just passed a fantastic law that the state's no longer accepting hurricanes. Okay, great. Nice law. Good luck enforcing it. What's that dark cloud in the distance? Yeah, this shit ain't slowing down. It's not slowing down. It can't. There's no way. And Meta and Stability, by open sourcing their large language models, just put the nail in the coffin of any possibility of slowing it down. If this were just in Google's hands and OpenAI's and Microsoft's, and a couple of the other ones, Anthropic and maybe Inflection, Cohere. If it were just in a handful of companies and they had all the control of it, you have a slight chance of reining it in America. But China ain't going to slow down. I don't know what Russia's up to, but I'm sure they're doing something. They're not going to slow down. The Far East isn't going to slow down. The European Union probably will. Like the European Union, based on what they've done with privacy, is going to like rein some shit in. But at this point, you can't rein it in, and it's just capitalism won't allow it. Right? We're money grubbing pigs. What's the latest McKinsey? The McKinsey State of Tech 2023. they're projecting $4.4 trillion in increased, you know, economy because of this shit. There's gold in them near hills. They ain't slowing that shit down. I don't care who wants to slow what. That's it's part of my point of this channel is like I don't like people ask all the time what do I think of the writers' strike and the actors' strike. I'm a screenwriter. I have a degree in acting. Like I empathize with them. I sympathize with them. Like it's a fucking horrible situation, and this shit's coming. Like I feel like they're fighting the wrong fight. They need to be fighting like rather than saying we can't have AI in our industry, which is what they're all saying right now. What they should be saying, in my humble opinion, I'm not in those unions, so I don't have a say in the matter, is given that this shit is coming, what contracts do we need to get in place now so that everyone's protected? And they're kind of doing that, but the positioning is AI evil, fuck AI. They're writers. This is the most powerful writing tool in the history of humanity. And the writers are going, fuck that shit. We don't want that in our lives. Well, you're going to be competing against millions of people where it's core to their life very, very shortly. So it just feels short-sighted to me. It's not short-sighted. It feels myopic, and it I don't know. Like this stuff just feels very inevitable to me. So I don't see it as good or bad right now. I just see it as there's a hurricane coming. Are you going to be on the surfboard, or are you going to be in the bamboo hut on the beach? Because the bamboo hut's more comfortable right now, right? And those are the arguments that those unions are fighting. They're like, but we got the bamboo hut on the beach. You can't fuck with the bamboo hut on the beach. And there's other people like putting on the wetsuits and paddling out because there's probably some big ass waves coming. So I think that's the only place to be. But I like chaos and change. Chaos generation is here. Consolidation is coming. What's the fastest and easiest way to change black and white movie to color? I don't know. There's all sorts of tools for that. They've been doing that stuff for ages. I would think within Premiere and Final Cut Pro, there are probably AI tools that have probably been in it for years that do that right now. But you can also go check out Descript. Is a video processing AI company. I don't think Vidyo does anything like that. Descript has a bunch of tools. That's like a better question for Reddit. You can go to Futurepedia.io and just see if there's any AI generated video processing things that specifically mention colorization. But colorization is one of those things that's been around for a long, long time. So I don't know that you're going to need to leverage this. Holy crap, we're up to 45,000 likes. You guys are nuts. Oh my God, this is awesome. Oh, you're fucking hilarious. All right, it's awesome. Let's see. AI Silver. I'm 53, trained multimedia specialist for 25 years. This is interesting. Laura C. AI will open the gates of everyone's minds. So here's my thing. I think people like you, Laura, that wrap your head around this shit and get like curious about it and explore it. You're going to be so much better at things like Runway, Gen 2, like generating stuff because you've got all this multimedia experience. You're going to be able to look at these tools and very, very quickly go, oh, that one's good, that one's bad. Oh, if I stitch those two together, I can create this really unique thing. I can do it 10 times faster than I used to do it. If I were starting an agency right now, So it's really funny. Like having started an agency and grown an agency, the model for agencies is basically get a couple of senior people together that have an idea. They're generally ex-agency people that are bitter about the agency world, and they're like, fuck that, we can do a better agency. Every agency that starts says says we're not going to be like the other agencies. But the typical model is you get a couple of senior partners who are bitter and smart, right? And ideally have some complementary skills and have nice Rolodexes, right? Because they've quit their big agency jobs. So they got some clients, sitting in the wings. And then you hire a bunch of young people, right? You hire, you start out with 5 and you got the senior people out doing the selling and doing the creative direction, and then you have your shop of executors. I don't think that's the model anymore. If I were starting an agency right now, I would, find the 2 or 3 smart, bitter people that have the idea, that are also AI literate, have complementary skills. And then I think my team, rather than having young people in there because why do you have young people? They have energy, they're trainable, and they just go for hours. And you can just say, go do this, go do that, and they just execute. And you need to be able to be out there selling stuff and have that shit executed, right? Well, now this stuff does the execution. So I would much rather have someone like Laura, who's got a 25-year career, who's now into this stuff, and say, hey, do you want to come do like all the visual stuff? So we'll have a visual stuff person, we'll have a writing stuff person, we'll have a project managey kind of person, we'll have a creative director or two. We might have a typical creative director pair, right? Words and pictures. And I think it would be a bunch of Gen Xers that are still hungry, right? If it's a startup, they got to be hungry. So that's a bit of a unicorn. So they might not quite be Gen Xers. They'll probably be elder millennials. It'll be either elder millennials or Gen Xers that have experience, smarts, some kind of specialty like that, and are diving into this shit. And you could start a 5 to 10 person agency that you could compete with 50 person agencies today. There's a job. There's a trying to figure out what to do next, and you got some years on you and some skills, and you're into this shit like Laura is. Going to be in great demand. Great demand. I think I can't see any other way. If I'm a big Fortune 500 company and the boss has said, fucking figure AI out, figure it out now, what am I going to do? I'm going to go find some smart people that have been on the planet long enough that can help short circuit some of the changes that are coming. Like I just can't see a way around it. The thing that scares me in that scenario, like I'm not saying this is a good thing. I'm just saying like this is kind of reality of where my head is right now. Where's entry level? Because entry level used to be you'd come in and you'd do the repetitive tactical execution work, and that's how you learned the business. Go make 50 Instagram posts out of this template. Okay. And after fucking 3 months of mind-numbing Instagram image generation, you're like, could I do an audio file? Oh, you can do audio? Yeah. Oh, go do these 1,000 audio files. Thanks. 6 months later. I do video too. Right? That's how young people learn. That's how service businesses get the work done. Where do those young people go? Where do they enter if this shit's doing all that work? That I don't know. Like that I don't have a fucking answer for. And like the only plausible thing that I came up with was maybe you go back to a mentor-mentee model where you bring in a young person and pair them up with an old person, right? So Laura's got her 25 years of multimedia experience. So she's doing everything she can to learn this. You pair her up with a young person who knows all the lingo and the vocabulary and how to fucking use TikTok. And you pair them up and they teach each other how to use these tools to do what they do. And sort of the young person kind of levels up as an apprentice to the older person that's, using their wisdom and their years of experience to curate the shit out of this stuff. That's the only thing I can think of right now. I feel like the entry level is going to be automated, and where do the young people go? I don't know. That freaks me out a little bit. But anyway, I don't know. Did you have a question there? Wait, what did you say? Train multimedia. AI will open the gates of everyone's minds. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I was going to think that your comment made me think of, Laura, is so many people are going to be able to completely reinvent themselves, where maybe I was just a copywriter for all those years, but I really wanted to be an artist, but I just didn't have the talent for art. But now there's this tool where I can take my word skills and I can use them in this tool and it makes pretty pictures. Well, that could just be a complete career transformation, right? Or I've always wanted to code, but I have ADHD. But if these can do the basic coding and I can just be like the product guy and actually generate applications, I'm in. That's like a superpower, right? So I think that idea of opening the gates of everyone's minds, it's kind of like, I almost feel like these things are Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hour theory, right? That in order to get competent at something, you need to put in your 10,000 hours. I kind of feel like these things knock it down to like 1,000, maybe even 100. What if you put in 100 hours into these tools in something that you were horrible at? In 100 hours, could you be good? Probably. That's got some pretty serious fucking implications. All right. I gotta wind this up. Gotta wind it up. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll to the bottom here. I gotta go. I got a trip to the airport in the morning. So let me go do that. Let me go. I'm gonna grab some final questions down at the bottom here. How do you see it affecting the medical industry? I think it's going to be fairly profound, but it'll be slower. I think it's going to affect drug discovery like incredibly well and incredibly quickly. I think it's going to impact the marketing side of things pretty dramatically. But because it's regulated, all of that stuff's going to go slow. So we've been talking for years about radiologists. We don't need radiologists anymore because these tools are going to do it better than the radiologists. And they do, except we as a society and as insurance companies and as medical professionals aren't comfortable completely ceding diagnosis to the machines. So you're going to have pair programming for a while, right? Where you've got doctor radiologists in conjunction with this AI stuff, right? So you'll have that for a while. I think this generative AI stuff is going to accelerate a lot of things. So I think it's going to be quite profound. But we've had AI in medicine for a lot of years. It's done a lot of good things. The generative AI stuff is just it's a different kind of contribution to the field, and I think it's going to affect not just drug discovery, but sort of all aspects of it. And this stuff is going to affect all aspects of anything that's computer mediated. So consulting, computer software development, medical, real estate, all of it's going to be affected. Anywhere there's computer intervention, which is essentially all of our society, at least here in the West. I'd work for you. Oh, thank you, Lunashtick. I appreciate that. We are young baby boomers. I'm 65. I think I'm the sort of base year of Gen Xers. My daughter's in her second year of master's in advertising, and they're not doing any of this stuff. Oh, Vicky. Oh, God. That's rough. If you haven't, tell your daughter to fucking dive head first into this stuff. Unless she's pig-headed and won't listen to Mama. Hopefully she listens to Mama. Tell her to dive into this. Feel free to point her my direction. I'm happy to chat with her. I've been in that world for years. The agency world is about to have an upending. It's not going to be pretty. And if she's getting her master's and they're not dealing with this, she's fucking Christ. Really? That's maddening. 50K coming up. We're at 52K. Holy crap. All right, I got to jump to the bottom here. I got to go. 65. You were 58 last week. No, I was born in 65. I am 58. I was born in 65. 1965. Demo test. Well, bye. Oh, was demo test in here? Oh, there he is. You know nothing about AI. There's our troll. Aw, he's so cute. He needs a hug. Oh, demo, here's the sweetest. Are we stopping at 50? 50K, we're crushing it. You guys are having your own little party off to the side here. This is awesome. All right, let's see. I'll do two more questions. What model would you suggest for privacy? For example, analyzing sensitive documents such as PDFs. So you're going to want to look at a project called LangChain. What's your name? Patrice Rock 83. Look at a project called LangChain where you can embed your own PDFs, and you can kind of run everything locally on a virtual machine where you're not sending API calls out to these services. I would start there. You can also play within ChatGPT Code Interpreter. I don't quite know the data boundaries on it, but the way Code Interpreter works, it spins up a virtual machine inside your chat. So you can upload a PDF into Code Interpreter and then have it start interacting with it, and it's writing and executing Python code to analyze your PDF. That might be secure. I would explore Code Interpreter, but the data sharing policies of OpenAI are a little shitty right now. They got to get their shit together with that. The other thing you could do is look at Microsoft Azure. They've got GPT things. If you're working for a big company that has budget and you can spin up a secure, data sequestered server to do this OpenAI stuff. I know they have them there, but I think they start at like 25 grand. So, they're not cheap, but depending on who you work for, that might be the way to go. If you're working healthcare and pharma, absolutely going to have to do that. 10 p.m. for anyone with an early morning flight. Yeah, I gotta get to the airport early. What do you think AI will do to education in colleges? Cam, I'm gonna save that one for next time. But basically, I think the entire educational system needs to reinvent itself, and this is gonna force it to do it. Everything has changed. Like what we teach to has to change, because the world that we're moving into doesn't require the same kind of education. It doesn't require memorization. It doesn't require rote activity practicing to go be a cog in the machine, because these are going to be the cogs in the machine now. So teaching critical thinking skills, I think, has to go up dramatically, and teaching rote memorization and repetition bullshit has to go down immediately. And I don't think any institutions are really ready for that. So I don't know enough about that world to know how to fucking fix it, but that's my instinct. Anyway, I gotta go, people. Peace out, everyone. It was good hanging out with you, and I really do appreciate this. We got to 54,100 likes. You guys are nuts. I love you. This is fantastic. Thank you all. Peace, Chaos Generation, Clint, Cavruno, Vicky. Good night, everybody. Apocrypha, thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out. Emilio's wife, later. Night, Nancy. Thelonious, Lunarstick, the bear. All right. Peace out, everybody. Thanks, Hair Growth Geek.